Scenario: EazyGrozr is an Android mobile app for shopping of green groceries. You will be testing few core features of this app. To operate the prototype, use the mouse to simulate your finger on a touchscreen, left click to tap, and scroll mouse to scroll. Please note that data, like names, items, data, dates, prices, etc., are preset in this test prototype. So instead of your inputs, the app will display the preset data. This is not an error. Proceed with the preset data. Also, all the buttons are not operational. Only those that are relevant for testing will work. Others will not work. This is not an error. Proceed with what's working. EazyGrozr supports shopping of green groceries as a family activity with family groups similar to WhatsApp. To sum up, I'm using an Android application called EazyGrozr, which allows me to shop for green groceries, and data will be preset. Certain buttons might not work, which is not an error. And it supports the shopping of green groceries as a family activity with family groups similar to WhatsApp. Step 1 of 17. Imagine that it's a pleasant weekend and you've got some free time to try out the EazyGrozr app. But to start using the app, first you've to join in. So join to start using the app. On completing the joining process, please read aloud the names of the family groups you've been added to. Spend no more than 2 minutes on this. When you feel that you've completed this task, please click Task 2 off on the Select Task panel on the left side of the screen to do the next task. Alright? So I'm supposed to join in. It said the data will be preset, but I don't see it here, so I'll just enter a random name. Alright, so I think I'm just going to try again. I'm going to enter a random 6-digit number to see if that works. Alright, hello Kumar, your mobile number is verified. Would you like to add your photo? I'll skip that. Yes, I would like to create an account. The account is active and I see two groups. One is Chachis and one is LP Nagar Rockstars. So I'll move on to task 2. This is task 2. Please make sure task 2 is selected on the left panel. It's nice to be part of these two extended / join family groups, but imagine that you would like to have a group for just your household. So make your own family group in the app and add members. On completing the process, please read aloud the names of the family groups you're now member of, including the group you just created. Spend no more than 2 minutes on this. When you feel that you've completed this, skip to task 3. Alright. So from what okay. Why isn't this lighting up? But could this be an error? Oh, alright, sorry. Right, so since I only see limited options and on the bottom right I see a new selection, I believe these are to do with the groups because the manager seems to suggest that, and the icon suggests that this is to manage my groups, so I'll create a new one. I'll name the group family as has been suggested. Your new group Kumar and family is successfully created. You can set the delivery address and add family members to your group now. Alright, I can just probably skip this. I'm just gonna enter the same details and see if that works. Right. So Just by random, I'm going to add a few numbers. Alright, let me add what seems like my family. But there's only one, so yeah. I've added 3 people, and seems like a pretty straightforward and easy process. So I've added, wait, I didn't want to add Dhoni Baikula, but he has been added automatically without my selection. And now I'm a part of Chachi's, LP Nagar Rockstars, and Kumaran family. So I'll move to the next step. This is task 3. Imagine that your family group has been active for a few days. There is a notification denoting 10 updates on your group. Open your group and look around the screen. Scroll and see the 10 updates. Talk about what else do you see on the screen and what do you think you can do here. After that, it's time for shopping. Since your family has been using the app for a few days, the app has made a note of the items that your family likes. Make a shopping list, and from these most liked items, put apple and broccoli into the shopping list. On completing the process, please read aloud the items in your shopping list. So I'll open the family group, which has 10 notifications as is indicated here. I see chats from my family, and alright, so from what I can see, it's people responding to particular things, and yeah, I think that's a pretty nifty feature. Sashi says who's getting the apples and veg today. Meena says not me, got class. Meena replies to Meena, and Meena replies to Ashish. Well, somebody has to Tarun. Kumar replies, I'll buy the sabzi, I have to go out in the evening. Meena replies, thank you Nana, you're the best. Meena replies, you'll spoil the kids, they have to learn. EazyGrozr has produced a notification which is apparent from the color and the fact that there are no arrows coming from either side. So there are 2 notifications. Kumar got 4 items from the cart for Rema stores. Cart for Rema stores is empty and is removed. Yo, get me the apples, okay, says Tarun. And Meena replies, yo, the gorilla is awake. Meena replies, Meena, no name calling, please. We see another notification where Tarun has ordered 1 item from the cart for Big Basket, and the delivery is scheduled for 25 May, 9 a.m. at the default home address. And cart for Big Basket is now empty and removed. So what I can guess, and which is not very clear, and I'm not sure, is that once the cart is empty and removed, it means that the order has been delivered, but I'm not sure. So that could probably be clearer from the copy. So I'll open the list now. And I think the favorites one had the items that I was supposed to add. And if I remember, I was supposed to add broccoli and apple, which I'll add to the list. Alright. Not sure how I'm supposed to proceed from here. Or has the list already been populated? I'll just see the instructions again. So I have put the apple and broccoli in the shopping list. Alright, so I'm supposed to read the shopping list. My shopping list now has 1 apple and 1 broccoli. Right, moving on. This is task 4. Imagine that you are now ready to get the items in your shopping list. Please do it in the following sequence. First, the apple. Assume that you've decided to buy the apples online. Find the cheapest online price for apples and choose to buy from that online seller. So I'll just actually go ahead and do the apple bit first and come back to the instructions. Alright, so I'm not sure if I don't see my cart here, so I'll open the group again. And alright, I see the list now. And I'll check the price of the apples. Not really. So I see 35 at Rema stores, 37.5 at JK Groceries, 38 at Grofers, 39 at Big Bazaar, and 42 at Big Basket. And from what I can understand, they have been arranged in ascending order. So the lowest price comes first, and that's helpful. And am I supposed to get the cheapest item. Alright, so I'll add this to the cart. I'm not sure if that happened. Right, not sure if it's responding. Right, I'll just check the cart. Okay, the cart's also not working. Try again. Add to cart. So I think the item is not being added and the cart is not accessible. So I'm just assuming that I've already added these to the cart, and I'll move on to the next item. Next, the broccoli. You want to physically check the freshness of broccoli and buy from a local grocery store. Find the cheapest in-store price for broccoli and choose to buy from that local seller. Alright, so I'll go to the list. I see broccoli. Right, I don't think this is responding. So I'm just going to see if I can access something else from Kumar and family. Alright, I can't access the price for broccoli. I'm not sure if that was because I was supposed to choose from favorites or recent, but right, so this is done. And the broccoli bit I don't think is responding, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip to the next step. But now, just to read those, sorry. I have purchased apples from Brema stores, and I'll move on to task 5. Right. This is task 5. Imagine that you've decided to go to the local store yourself to buy the broccoli, but want someone else to get the apples online. First, send a note to other family members informing them about this. Next, you want to make sure that they take note of it. So, send them a reminder. On completing the 2 steps, please read aloud the reminder note displayed in the app. Alright, so I've gone to get the broccoli online, and I want somebody else to buy the apples, so I'll go ahead and write that. I'm going to buy the broccoli. Not sure if I'm spelling that right. Can someone get the apples online from Rema stores? Alright, I've sent the message. Now I'm supposed to set a reminder, and at the outset it's not very clear how it is that I can set a reminder. So there it doesn't seem to be any option of settings, or basically like a 3 dots that you see on different messaging apps where you can add more stuff, or probably like a plus button here which would allow me to set a reminder. So I'll just try seeing if I can set a reminder from somewhere else. Right, I'm not sure. Or I'm assuming that there is not a functionality of reminder, so I'm just going to go ahead and type a message. A casual reminder for the apples. Right. Yeah. So I don't see a reminder note being displayed here. I'm just going to type again and see if that produces anything. All right, so I think, yeah, it has automatically sent something. So Kumar says, I've put in some apples into the grocer's cart. Someone please order it. The broccoli at JK, I'll buy when I go out in evening. Hi guys, just sending a quick reminder to earlier message. All right. So I think it displayed it automatically, and there is not a reminder functionality which I was assuming. Right. So moving on to step 6. This is task 6. Imagine that you've bought the broccoli at the local store. Update this information in the cart of the seller. On completing, please read aloud the update notification from the app. So I'm supposed to update that I've brought the broccoli in the seller's cart. Just gonna see, yeah. So I bought the broccoli from JK Groceries, and I'll just go ahead and update that. Please try again. The shopping list could not be updated because no items were selected. All right. Yeah, I'll select the broccoli. So this wasn't very visible, to be honest. So that could be changed. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and update the list. Please note you have completed shopping for all items in the cart for JK Groceries. So after updating the shopping list, the empty cart is removed. All right. Yeah. So as I had assumed in the beginning that, and once the cart is empty and removed, the purchase has been completed. That seems to be what happened here. All right. All right. So I'll move on to the next step. This is task 7. Oh, it seems no one has got the apples, so you'll have to do that yourself. So buy the apples from the online seller. On completing, please read aloud the update notification from the app. Right, so nobody bought the apples and I'm supposed to buy them myself. So I'll go back to Kumar and family because that's where it happened. I'll go to my cart. I'll view the cart where I see the apples, and as was before, I'm going to select apples here, a dozen apples, and I'm going to order them now. Yeah, this delivery time seems okay. And when am I supposed to stop? Right, I'm supposed to complete the order. I'll pay cash on delivery. The payment part is not considered for testing in this prototype, as the current fintech scene in India is fluid, with many new digital payment methods being implemented. So please, okay to skip it and complete the task. All right. Please note you have completed shopping for all items in the cart for grocers. So after updating the shopping list, the empty cart is removed. All right. That seems to be done. On a scale of 1 to 5, how much do you disagree, or agree with the following statement? I think I would like to use this app frequently. I am somewhat neutral about this because in my household, I don't necessarily come from a household where the buying decisions are democratic. So for me, I don't see using this app very often because the family I come from, we have a dedicated person who's in charge for shopping and planning what is to be done. But I imagine for somebody who is in a nuclear family and probably like a middle class or upper middle class household, this might be useful. Though I don't find a lot of personal utility, I still think that in the right scenario, the app will be useful. Moving on. On a scale of 1 to 5, how much do you disagree or agree with the following statement? I found the app unnecessarily complex. I would probably give it a 3 because in some cases it did seem a little complicated, but I'm guessing the nature of the task itself is a bit complicated, but it did a decent job in trying to simplify it. So it is slightly confusing why there is a list and then there is a cart. And selecting the grocers and setting reminders, and probably I didn't really understand the difference at the outset between a list and a cart. So in that case, I think The app was decent in simplifying the entire process, but it was at the same time not extremely complex. Okay, alright, I think I might change that. I think it was pretty straightforward because I understand while speaking that the nature of the task itself is a bit complicated. Right, moving on. On a scale of 1 to 5, how much do you disagree or agree with the following? I thought the app was easy to use. Right, so I'll give that a 4 because the app was pretty straightforward in terms of the buttons that are visible at a particular point of time. So, for example, if I can navigate back, yeah, so I only see 3 groups here and I see how to maintain these things. So, in terms of functionalities, since the number of options of things that can be done is limited, it was easy to use. I think that I would need the support of a technical person to be able to use this app. I am fairly technically savvy. I am almost 25 years of age. But I imagine that somebody who's not very technically savvy, which is, for example, if I imagine my parents using this, it would be a learning curve and it would take them a while to get used to it. So I don't think that it would be enough to just for them to install the app and be at it, but it would require a certain amount of time for them to get used to it. So again, I think I'll give it a 3. I found the various functions in this app were well integrated. I think so, because the app did work seamlessly. So the list and the carts automatically updated themselves. The groups were fluid, and the fact that I can reply to messages was a great bit. I think that is necessary for this kind of application. And as opposed to WhatsApp, where you can reply to a message, this creates a thread, so you know exactly what is being spoken about. And yeah, I think the card and the list were seamlessly integrated. So one change in one reflected the change overall in the entire mechanism. So it did seem okay. I thought there was too much inconsistency in the app. Not really. I think it was really straightforward. Though I think the process could be made slightly more fluid. And for example, if there was just a way of directly going to the cart and not really creating a list. But then I understand that it has been done for the dual purpose of probably shopping online and even checking the prices and going to that store. So I understand that, but I think this kind of complexity is necessary for the task that the app aims to do, which is making shopping of green groceries a group process. So I think that is fine. I would imagine that most people would learn to use this app very quickly. Not really, to be honest. I would give this a 2 because while after a while it is easy to understand the application, the learning curve initially is a bit steep. So for somebody so imagine that the use case is family, and if you look at the age of a particular husband and wife, the average age would right now be say 35 to 40, where they have kids and shopping has been made a democratic process. So I would probably put them in the upper late 30s, early 40s, because if they have a family and they're shopping together. So I imagine that a person in that age would not be the most tech savvy, to be honest. And similarly with the wife or the husband as well. I don't see that this is the easiest app to use, but I think with some more educational material, or probably if the functionality is made more easy with a few tutorials, it would not be a tough task. Moving on. I found the app very cumbersome to use. Not really. I wouldn't say it's the easiest app to use, but I wouldn't say it's tough as well. So I think it's in the middle spot between ease and complexity. Moving on. I felt very confident using the app. Again, I would give this a 3. There were bits where I struggled, but I think honestly that might have to do with the fact that I'm using this on a desktop and not a mobile phone. So I think this would probably become a 4 if I'm using this on my phone. But since I'm interacting on a PC, I would give this a 3. Moving on. I needed to learn a lot of things before I could get going with this app. Not really. Being an online shopper, I am fairly thorough with the jargon. Not jargon, but the keywords that are used while shopping online, like carts and lists and groups and messages and order, place order, check prices, etc. So it's not like a lot had to be learned, and the app was also slightly intuitive, and the words that were used were not the most difficult, and I imagine that somebody would normally understand them. So I would give this even a 3.5 actually. Sorry, I would even actually give it a 1.5 for that matter, because it wasn't that I had to learn a lot of things before using the application. Right, moving on. Any final thoughts? I think the app is really cool in the sense that it makes shopping for groceries a democratic process, because I do see that coordinating who's going to buy what and coordinating what is needed in the house is conventionally was the role of a woman, but now I see it being being a group process and slightly democratized, and everybody can take ownership. So, for example, if I could think of a use case, a lot of times I ask my mother to get something and she forgets, and there isn't a particular system in place right now which allows for these kind of things to take place. So it is a cool app, but at the same time, I imagine that it would take certain amount of training for somebody who's in the 30s or the 40s, which does seem like a target market, to use this application. But I think once it's done, it wouldn't be it would be slightly easier to use. And secondly, if just as a suggestion, because I work in advertising, if the pitch could be, for children to teach the application to their parents, and the pitch could be that something that makes life easier and makes everybody accountable and everybody responsible for running the house. And if the sell could be that, the children are going to teach the parents, and that's how the advertisements could be made, that would be a plus. That's it.